Tom Hatch here from DFP, and I've got with me Lisa Mayocchi from Yes Psychology, who's just delivered our first DFP forum in Brisbane for 2023 today. We've just had a session on getting fit for the new year and looking at personal resilience and team resilience. Big turnout, and so just going to ask Lisa a couple of questions about today. There was obviously a lot to take away from today's session, but why do you think looking at building personal resilience and team resilience is such a popular topic in the current climate?
I think over the last few years, since the pandemic, there's been a lot of change and challenge in a lot of organisations, and that change and challenge continues to happen, whether it's pressure on recruitment or changes that are happening in organisations to the structure, or new technologies, new systems being introduced, and a range of other things. And I think so that on top of, we're still adjusting, I think, to what's our new normal. So a lot of us started working virtually during COVID, but I think we're still making that adjustment. Today I heard a lot of people talking about boundaries and resetting those boundaries, and what does that look like now when we spend, some of our time working at home and some time in the office, and getting that right.
In that hybrid environment, which is probably the most common way people are working these days.
I think as well that, when it comes to resilience and well-being, it's not a set and forget. It's something that we need to keep coming back to. So I think it was really great that we saw so many people here today thinking about, how can I reset myself for the year ahead? Is there anything, some good practices that I might have drifted away from, when the pressure's on, that I'm going to kind of bring back into my life again, and having those conversations, I think, is really powerful.
Yeah, well, we had a great turnout today, so there was over 50 people here, so you did very well in running this for such a big group. But was there anything in particular that really seemed to resonate with the group today?
I think, just thinking about some of those conversations that you can have with your team on a regular basis, and how you can integrate talking about well-being into, everyday interactions with colleagues, team meetings, and just things that you can do to help everyone connect with one another on a regular basis. So, we talked about the performance pressure curve, and thinking about what does it feel like when we've got that right level of balance between performance and pressure, and can you have a conversation as a team about where you are on the curve. I think quite a lot of people seem to take that away as a very practical step that you can do. Create the conversation, create a common language, I think is really important, but just really any kind of tactic, whether it's about, I know a lot of people talked about the importance of pausing and resting and resetting, and some of those practical tactics that we can do to just help slow down the brain, whether it's breathing, mindfulness, or booking in a holiday, whatever it is, just to make sure that we're supporting ourselves to be at our best.
Yeah, okay, and look, that's exactly what I was going to ask, is around was there actual practical strategies they were able to take away, and I think that was definitely one of the highlights. So what you delivered today certainly gave them a lot of practical tips, and even the guys in the room too suggested a few things that they were doing and helped sharing amongst themselves. So that interaction amongst the attendees was certainly very helpful, and you did a great job in bringing that to the front. So thanks for delivering today. We've got other sessions booked and coming up, and we look forward to having you involved again.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks.